Hey there, everybody. Welcome to week 5. Kind of shifting a little gears here. So, first part of this semester, we just lay the land of 1500. Then we're going to kind of switch to be thinking about this idea of sort of products in history, which I think tie in with a lot of some of the topics we've already talked about, and will sort of relate with some of the topics that are upcoming in this course as well. But I also is an idea to kind of or the idea of the assignment is to think a little broader, start to zoom out a little bit in this world history class and start thinking world historically in the way, the sort of lens or perspective we want to do that. Or I would like to do that is through this idea of a product, right? Pick a product and think about how it relates historically, how it's shaped the modern world. This week we're going to look at this fish called cod. And I've taken some chapters out of this Mark Kurlansky book. This book was sort of one of the first ones that this genre of how can we focus on one specific item and see how it plays out over time and space, historically, culturally. So it's a kind of Mark Kurlansky's written a lot of books like this. Cod was his first. He's written a book on paper. He's written a book on salt. He's written a book on the Basques. He's very prolific writer, very, as you can see with the Cod book, very easy, engageable writing style, but also I think kind of humorous but also informative. So read through your big assignment this week is just to read through these chapters, be thinking about how this fish actually affected the world. And then I do kind of mention this in a couple times that, being in Hawaii, these aren't such some issues that are in the past. The cod moratorium that started in 1992 is still ongoing. Now we're into like 30 years of no commercial fishing of cod. But this is a global issue of sustainability, of fishing, and making sure that these stocks don't get depleted. And I think humanity has looked at this cod situation, and they do. As a way to kind of balance this, or better understand how fishing practices need to be adjusted to perpetuate and sustain our stocks, and these can get applied on various different levels. So I think cod's a good. This book goes into it, and there's also a lot of cool history here. Talks about cod as why it was very useful for overseas exploration, which we'll see. It was also a catalyst. We talked about these multi causes of European expansion. Cod was very much part of that as part of this economic system. So whoever had the cod could be prosperous for various that fun cod fact that you can read about. But also how cod played into triangular trade, so you can kind of see these lessons that we've learned in class are applicable to this topic. And that's sort of what I want you to be thinking about in your topics. Pick a topic and think about how it relates to world history or how you can relate it to world history. So for now, all I want you to do is just pick for your assignment for this week. Read all the cod stuff, get a sense of how they're doing it within how Mark Kurlansky is looking at product papers, and then pick your own. So there's 3 questions this week for your discussion. Let's see here. Cod fact. What's your favorite cod fact? How is cod related to triangular trade, which should be pretty self-evident in the reading. And then what is your product? What is your product? Explain very briefly why you're interested in learning more about it. That's it. But be thinking about that for this assignment. So great. Oh, and then the other thing quickly here, I went through your tests. I looked over them. Good. I got my comments back to you. What I did is in the student resources file where you can find this 5W. I've also uploaded, find this midweek check-in. I've uploaded the 5W. So I took out, these are students from this past quiz who answered these questions and these 5Ws, and I tried to kind of cut and paste answers I felt adequately responded to them. So take a look at those. That's kind of what I'm going to be looking for going forward on these 5Ws, really how to kind of connect the terms together. And each one I picked out because it kind of connected or related a little more broadly on how these terms were significant to world history, incorporated other terms from the review guide, those kind of things. So I think that's it. Have a good rest of your week.